It is a pleasure to welcome you to the latest edition of ButtHurt magazine. You will discover an array of extraordinary idiots, prudes, social justice warriors, and, gasp, even the odd feminist. We're excited to share exceptional stories that stir the senses and inspire the WTF in all of us. Let's begin.
Let go my Lego. A Turkish man in Austria bought a Lego kit of Jabba's palace but was butthurt by what he found inside. He issues a complaint to the Turkish cultural community in Austria. Dr. Melissa Guns, Secretary General of the Turkish cultural community in Austria, reviewed the complaint and found what she calls educational and culturally reprehensible defects in Lego Star Wars Jabba's palace. She stated that on closer inspection, the assembled Lego house and the associated tower are a one-to-one imitation of the Hagia Sophia Mosque in Istanbul. The figure in the tower, a Gamorrean guard, would then be associated with a prayer leader. Not to mention as a criminal with an axe and rifle. The terrorist Jabba the Hutt likes to smoke hookah, and to kill his victims. It is obvious that racial prejudice and nasty insinuations against the Orientals and Asians, as sneaky and criminal personalities. Frightening is the red black devil grimace on the box on the top right, which is at least an obvious signal that the game is not for under the Christmas tree, concluded Dr. Melissa Guns. Frightening indeed. For one, I have been to the Hagia Sophia Mosque in Istanbul, Turkey. I don't recall an entire side of the mosque being open, nor was it built with yellow bricks, and no, Jabba was not there either. All I have to say is, the toy is actually working, because these people are using their imaginations to their utmost abilities. I say that with a red black devil grimace, of course. Let them eat cake. In southern France, a baker has been ordered by a court to remove what the court sees as racist cakes from his store. According to the article, the confections in question, named Gods and Goddesses, are shortbread and chocolate mousse cakes, in the shape of fat people covered with dark chocolate, with oversized genitals, as often found in statues of Greek mythology. The judge deemed them to be an attack on human dignity after the case was brought to him by a French anti-racism group. The Representative Council of Black Associations, CRAN, stated that it's pure and simple racism. Perhaps the group named CRAN should instead stand for Can't Reasonably Accept Nature. There are fat people, there are dark-skinned people, and there are people with oversized genitals. Just ask my fellow Canadian, porn actor Peter North. Or better yet, sit on his dick. Thankfully the owner of the establishment wasn't about to go down without a fight and allow these I'm offended terrorists to run him over. Remember, if you are not eating shortbread and chocolate mousse cakes, in the shape of fat people covered with dark chocolate, with oversized genitals, then sadly, the I'm offended terrorists win. Feminists upset over statue of man and woman talking. Here's the scene: you're an oppressed woman sitting on the bench reading a book. Your male friend sees you and has the audacity to come over to say hello and talk. You put down your book, lean back, and smile. But what's this? He doesn't sit next to you but instead puts his jackboot on the bench and leans over his imposing knee. At least that's how immature feminists see this statue. Naturally they automatically gave it a label saying the statue was a depiction of mansplaining. Even, gasp, calling it misogyny. Is it just me, or is anything that is remotely male, or even remotely involves a male, misogyny? I guess to make the statue more friendly to butthurt feminists, the sculptor should have put two topless women, French kissing on the bench, while the male is kneeling at their feet. Bonus points if he is wearing a kilt, that reveals that he is not really a male, but transgender. Perhaps a choke chain around his neck? For the feminists out there that believe the statue is misogynistic, Let me mansplain to your feeble minds what the sculptor of the work had in mind. His exact words were this: it was two students visiting, talking. Implying nothing beyond that. Note to future sculptors: when trying to show men and women talking as friends, just don't bother. There's just no way you can do so without offending modern feminists. But if you make a sculpture made out of used tampons, the feminists will be putty in your hands. Norway jumps the shark. Sooner or later, you knew the disease known as Sweden would infect Norway. Norwegian national broadcaster, NRK, thought they would give the Norwegian flag a new twist on the country's national day. The blue and white cross on the red background was removed, and instead the TV graphic showed a red rectangle with blue and white trim along the top and bottom edges. The far-left morons running the station said they were caught off guard by complaints from its viewers. The real reason for the flag change was the decision not to show any religious symbols after some Muslims complained about a Christian necklace worn by one of the channel's program hosts. The Equality and Anti-Discrimination Tribunal ruled in favor of the NRK banning its own hosts from wearing religious symbols. Despite the obvious discrimination of people that choose to wear religious symbols, the complaints featured something rather ironic. The flag change that the station did makes the flag look very similar to another notorious dictatorship, North Korea. P.S. Norway. Your country is shaped like a dick. Facebook breakup. I shall read to you a stunning example of an irrational fiancé, as it was posted on Facebook.
I am never going to the bother of doing something nice for anyone ever again, 'cause all I get is shit for it.
I know that feeling.
Babe, you made a bad rice pudding 'cause you never had scales, so guessed the measurements. The rice wasn't cooked, and it was dry, and stuck to the pan. I didn't give you any shit, I just said it wasn't right.
Don't even get to have any of the rice pudding I made 'cause someone threw it away. It was a fine. How dare you do that? I am never doing anything for you ever again, and you can start calling your family, telling them the wedding is cancelled.
You stormed off and told me to do what I want with it.
Over a rice pudding?
It's all over.
Yawn. Just when you think feminists might be running out of things to be offended by, and give us some peace, they merely take those pauses to reload. Now some of Hillary Clinton's friends, but not her grubbiness herself, are offended because the newspapers and everyone else call her Hillary. They argue that such familiarity diminishes her personhood, and the inevitable professors are called in to say why the culture demands that Hillary must absorb such slings and linguistic arrows. Hillary, who knows that a distinctive first name like hers is snappy, easily remembered, and worth millions for marketing a candidate, has not objected? What's to object to? If it doesn't bother her, why should it offend feminist commoners? But if you feminists really want us to call Hillary by some other name, here's a few choices. Hill Dog. Wicked Witch of the West Wing. Hilla the Hun. Robbery Hillam. Mr. President. Hillary Clinton. Mrs. Carpetbagger. Saint Hillary. President Pantsuit. For the people when it's convenient Clinton. Hilla the Hun. Monica's ex-boyfriend's wife. Ghostface Hill. Hillary Ratface Clinton. Hilda Beast. And my favorite. Hitlery.
This concludes this issue of ButtHurt magazine. If you enjoyed it, please comment, rate, and subscribe. And remember, sharing means caring. Thank you.